So dear students, this is our art and culture full test, part of our Gallant test 2026. Let's very quickly solve the questions. Thereby, we will have a very quick revision of this art and culture. Hope these questions are visible to you. Yeah, there is question number 1. Which of the following features distinguishes the Mauryan pillars from the Persian pillars? So we know that when you study these Mauryan pillars or Ashokan pillar, the first thing that should come into your mind is that they are monolithic structures. They are epigraphical monuments, or they are for the purpose of engraving these Ashokan inscriptions. They are not part of any architectural structures. Yes, and they are made of single rock. When Persian pillars are of, they are part of architectural palaces and buildings, etc. And they are made up of multiple what is called the pieces of stones. Here, Mauryan pillar, it is monolithic. Now see the first statement. The carvings of bell-shaped capitals resembling an inverted lotus, the engraving of imperial edicts on the stone surface, the carvings of the pillar shaft from a single piece of the stone, the placement of animal figures at the very top. So in the question they are asking, what is that unique feature of Mauryan pillar, or what is that feature distinguish Mauryan pillar from Persian pillar? So there is only one feature out of this which distinguishes Mauryan pillar from Persian pillar, that is Mauryan pillar is monolithic, that is of single stone, that is of single stone, the shaft is of single stone. Okay, so you will come up with the answer, which is the carving of the pillar shaft from a single piece of stone. That is the unique feature of Mauryan pillar. Okay, moving on to this. Consider the following statements regarding the Mughal miniature paintings. With regard to Mughal miniature painting, the Hamsanama painting show a dynamic style influenced by Safavid Persian traditions. Jahangir shifted the focus of Mughal painting toward orthodox religious manuscripts. Two statements are here. You must know that Mughal miniature, one of the very best examples of miniature traditions in medieval India, and see that is a fusion of Safavid school and Indian school of painting. And we know that the Mughal painting that is reflecting this courtly scene, darbar scenes, aristocratic life, or these hunting scenes. Okay, so mostly it is with the life of this aristocracy, noble classes, darbar scenes, those become the subjects of painting. Also, you should know the transition, you must know the transition. During Akbar's time, it is illustration of manuscripts. Then coming to Jahangir, naturalism, realism, and portraiture is, feature of this Jahangir's painting. Coming to Shah Jahan, that is artificiality or these European influences and the stylization. So if you know the characteristics, what was the miniature painting during Akbar, during this Jahangir, and during the time of Shah Jahan, this is easily answerable. So the Hamsanama painting show a dynamic style influenced by Safavid Persian traditions. Obviously, that is a characteristic feature of Akbar. Hamsanama, or these epics illustrated manuscripts illustrated with the painting, that was a feature during this Akbar. Then Jahangir shifted focus of Mughal painting toward orthodox religious manuscripts. It is not like that. From manuscripts to realism, naturalism, or portraiture, that was the shift from Akbar to Jahangir. So during Jahangir, it is naturalism, realism, portraiture, that become the features, not orthodox traditions. So the second is wrong, first is right. I will go for one only. Moving on to question number 3. Satriya dance was introduced by Vaishnava saint Shankaradeva as a medium of propagating Bhakti movement. The traditional performances are based in temple courtyards and executed by female dancers called the Devadasis. The dance incorporates martial movements inspired by Kalaripaita traditions. So all the three are different elements here. Just look into this. If I say, the first statement, Satriya dance. Obviously, Satriya dance was introduced by Shankaradeva Bhakti saint for promoting Vaishnava cult in Assam, and that was first in the Vaishnava monasteries called the Satra. And this dance accompanied by his devotional music called the Borgids. Initially, performers were male monks. So that is the fundamental thing regarding the classical dance Satriya. Kalaripaiti, no connection. That is deep in the south, belonging to martial art of Kerala. Yeah, Then again coming to Devadasis, that is something connected with Bharatanatyam. It's a classical dance of Tamil Nadu. So entirely different. So first one is correct, second one is wrong, and third one is, there is no connection of Kalaripaita tradition, nothing. So I will go for only one. Then moving on to the next question, question number 4. So have an idea, the classical dances, their states and what all the elements associated with them, like their patrons or maybe their proponent, the music or the theme, those things are important. Question number 4, he was an ancient Indian philosopher, scientist known for his work in metallurgy, early chemistry. He authored a treatise, Rasaratna Agara, which details the processes for extracting metal like gold, silver, copper, and is associated with the transformation of base metals. See, just look into this. You know that Kannada is, he's a sage connected with the Orthodox school of philosophy. You know that there is a Samkhya school of philosophy, Nyaya school of philosophy, Vaiseshika school of philosophy, Mimamsa school of philosophy, or Vedanta Yoga schools of philosophy. So he's a man connected with this school of philosophy. Varahamihira also, you know that he is connected with this Gupta age, and it's like astronomy, astrology, mathematics, etc. Then Vagabhata also, you know that he is someone connected with Ayurveda medicine. So if you eliminate all the three, you will come up with Nagarjuna. Okay, somebody who is with alchemy, somebody who is with this chemistry, metallurgy, etc. Okay, answer is Nagarjuna. So very important, just go for ancient India, medieval India. Popular scientists are there, astrologers are there, astronomers are there, or Ayurveda medicine related people are there, or maybe these engineers are there, or what is called these Ayurvedic doctors are there. So Shuddha, Charaga, such kind of people are there, or maybe these the people who are writing chronicles are there, historians are there, foreign people who observed the society, different category of people. Please try to understand, yes, what all these people, what all their excellent or maybe expert areas. Now there is question. The artist of the Patnakalam school used watercolors on paper to paint ordinary tradesmen, local festivals, everyday plants. Statement 2. Painters of the late 18th century gradually started using European techniques like creating a sense of depth and adding shadows. Regarding this Patnakalam, both are correct here. Statement 1 is correct. Artist of Patnakalam school used watercolors on paper to paint ordinary tradesmen, local. Yeah, the subject become this contemporary society, people, festivals, tradesmen, etc. That is super fine with the Padnakalam. But second statement is that you see the painters of the late 18th century gradually started using European techniques like creating a sense of depth and adding shadows. Yeah, these artists of this school, they used European techniques. That is also super fine. Both the statements are correct here. But the problem is, first statement is talking about the subjects of painting. Second sentence is talking about the technique of painting. So the second sentence is not accurately explaining the first sentence. Just to see that when it is statement type question, just see whether the second statement aptly explain the first statement or not. Okay, aptly explain the course of the first statement or not. Check that one. Independently, both are correct. First statement is correct, second statement is correct, but second statement is not actually the explanation of the first statement, because first statement talking about the subject of painting, second is talking about the technique of painting. They are independent. Independently, they are correct. Okay. So I will go for the choice. Where is the choice here? Yeah, both the statement 1 and 2 are correct, but the statement 2 explains statement B, that is wrong. Both are 1 or 2 are correct, but the statement 2 does not explain statement B. So I will go for B. Next question. With reference to the principles of classical performance laid down in the Natya Shastra, consider the following. Natya Shastra, you heard about this Natya Shastra treatise which talks about the performing arts and all. So first statement, Natya Shastra by which person? Bharata Muni. It classifies musical instruments into 4 categories based on their acoustic properties. It provides guidelines for the body movements and vocal expressions, but excludes rules for stage architecture. It establishes the concept of rasa as the central aesthetic experience of the performance. Fundamental thing here. Natya Shastra explains the stage, the audience, the attire, or maybe various principles, mudras, bhavas, gestures, everything they explain. So there is no chance that it excludes rules for stage architecture. It also talks about the stage architecture, or what kind of the stage, what kind of the audience, all those proportions are discussed here. So the second statement is wrong. First one is correct, and the third one is correct. These are fundamental statements we picked from NCERT textbook, Introduction to Art. Okay, I will go for 1 and 3 only. There is a question, which of the following ancient texts is primarily dedicated to the principles of Hindu temple architecture? Okay, Mitakshara once asked by UPSC, something related to Hindu inheritance laws and all. Okay, then see Mahabhashya, you know that it's a commentary on this, what is called Sanskrit grammar, Ashtadhyayi. Am I right? This is a work on, at least you know that this is a work on Sanskrit grammar. Okay. Then Tolkappiyam also, you know that this is something related to Sangam literature, the Sangam Tamil grammar. It's a work on Sangam Tamil grammar. Am I right? So you will definitely eliminate Mahabhashya, Tolkappiyam, Mitakshara. Then only one thing which is connected is here. Yes, that is Manasara. That is the test primarily dedicated to principles of Hindu temple architecture. So please try to understand what are the ancient medieval literature connected with this medicine, connected with the science, connected with the mathematics, connected with the astronomy, astrology, or connected with the architecture. Okay, this or chronicles, this classification of literature, their author, that idea, their timeline, that idea you must have. That's very important for you. Then coming to the next question, consider the following statements regarding schools of Indian philosophy. Dvaita school was founded by Madhavacharya, believes soul and God are eternally separate entities. Dvaita, two, you know, obviously God and the soul, Atma, Brahma, they are eternally different. Dvaita school founded by Nimbaraka believes the soul and the world, you know, different, soul and matter different and non-different from God. That is also fine. Soul and matter, they are independent, they are different, but they are non-different from God. Shuddha Dvaita, that was founded by Vallabhacharya, asserts that world is real manifestation of God without Maya. That is also true regarding this Shuddha Dvaita. Pushti Marga. Okay. Now Mimamsa school was founded by Sabbara Swami. That itself is wrong. You know that there are different schools founded by different philosophers. Am I right? Samkhya is by Kabila, na? Yoga is by Patanjali. So just to see that what are different schools founded by different sages. So here there is, I haven't heard any name like Sabra Swami something, and believes that liberation lies in Upanishad. You know that the basic principle of Mimamsa. Samkhya is the oldest one and regarded as the ancient Indian scientific inquiry into creation of universe. And Vaiseshika, you know that that is the ancient Indian physics or atomic theory is introduced there. Okay, regarding the creation part. Or Vedanta is talking about this, like what is that called? You know, yeah, world is real and this, sorry, Brahma is real, rest is illusion. And coming to this Mimamsa, that Vedic authority is significant. You know, Vedic knowledge is significant, Vedic ritual sacrifices or unquestionable faith in Vedic test, that is important for achieving salvation. Okay, so you see that these are the different orthodox schools of philosophy. So Mimamsa is not founded by this guy, and it is not about its liberation is not in connected with the Upanishadic principles. It says that yes, Vedic authority, Vedic rituals, or that Vedic reasoning is essential for salvation. Okay. So obviously you will go for one is correct, two is correct, three is correct, fourth is the wrong one. Na? Fourth is the wrong one. So I will go for, they're asking for the correct one or which one? Yes. They are asking for the correct one. I will go for only three. Now again you see author and literary work is given. This is another favorite type of questions they ask in this prelims examination. Kalhana is there, Vishagadatta is there, Kamandaga is there. Kalhana, you must understand that 12th century Indian Kashmiri scholar, historian, his famous work is Rajatarangani. Nothing to do with this Mattavilasa Prahasanam. Mattavilasa Prahasanam is, you know, connected with the Pallava ruler. Vishagadatta, his famous work is Mudra Rakshasa, that you know. Kamandaga's famous work is Nidhi Sara. It is not, yes, Amaragosha. Amaragosha is by Amarasimha. So these popular authors and the literary works and the themes or subjects, that is a favorite area for UPSC. Don't skip. So I will go for this one only. Then my next question goes like this. My next question goes like this. Consider the following statement. Statement 1. The later Vedic era marked a shift away from elaborate material sacrifices toward the pursuit of inner spiritual enlightenment. Later Vedic era marked a shift away from elaborate material sacrifices toward the pursuit of inner spiritual enlightenment. The emerging intellectual classes experienced dissatisfaction with the increasingly mechanical and exorbitant nature of these Brahminical rituals. Now you must understand that yes, that is coming to this 600 BC, 500 BC. You must understand, or maybe towards this end of this later Vedic, or in the second phase of later Vedic, people are so much exhausted. They are so much tired with these elaborate and expensive Brahminical rituals and sacrifices. They were looking for something, inner spiritual pursuit rather than these complex and expensive rituals and sacrifices. Okay, that way the sentence is true. Then see, the emerging intellectual classes experienced dissatisfaction with the increasingly mechanical and exorbitant nature of Brahminical rituals. So the later classes, that is the, that is where this origin of Buddhism, Jainism is traced. They want simple religion. They want some sensical religion. They want some religion which is inclusive, which is less expensive, and which is, giving a solution to the daily mysteries or daily tensions, etc. That way they found these later Vedic times, or especially in 700, 600 BC, they found Brahminical religion very expensive, very complex, very, ritual centric, and Brahminhood, the dominance is there, and it is exclusive in nature. And that was not okay for especially these educated or maybe this trade class, etc. They were looking for a very simple, practical religion. Okay. So that way, first sentence, the third sentence is the formulation of the karma doctrine shifted the focus from appeasing deities to a system of personal ethical responsibility. Later Vedic era marked a shift from elaborate material sacrifices towards pursuit of inner spiritual statement. You said it is correct. Okay. Now the second is emerging intellectual classes experienced dissatisfaction with the increasingly mechanical, exorbitant nature of the Brahminical rituals. That is also a fine explanation to this statement 1. Now again you see, the formulation of the karma doctrine shifted the focus from appeasing deities to system of personal ethical responsibilities. Can we say that that can be a reason for the shift? Do you think that statement directly connects with the statement 1, or it explains the reason of statement 1? Come on, you say. I mean, whether you experience this or not, that is my question. Do you think that it actually explains the reason of statement 1 or not? Eh? You feel so? Okay, then you connect. If you feel that second and third explain that, first, then it is, you can definitely go for A. Okay, and that way, if you go for choice A, there is nothing wrong. Question number 11. Which of the following pottery cultures is associated with the second urbanization and the emergence of Mahajanpadas in ancient India? Which of the following cultures associated with the second urbanization and emergence of Mahajanpadas in ancient India? You know that there are different pottery cultures representing different ages of ancient India. See, painted grey ware, you know that it is a later Vedic culture. Northern black polished ware, this is second urbanization, or it is Mauryan culture. Black and red ware, much older. It is Indus Valley civilization, like that. Okay. So this is ochre is also older than, that is older than this northern black polished ware. So here they are asking for second urbanization, and what of them representing emergence of Mahajanpadas in ancient India. Okay. It's almost connected to 600 BC. Okay, what was that culture? Or 600 BC, 500 BC, that culture you can go for. You can go for this, yes, northern black polished ware. Okay, this is something you can see extended in this Mauryan culture also. Okay, towards this 1000 BC onwards, there is there is painted grey ware, and let us see that from 600 BC onwards, you can see there is northern black polished ware. With the very emergence of Mahajanpadas, you can see there is northern black polished ware. Now, question number 12. Consider the following statements regarding Pallava architecture. Pallava era marked the definitive transition from rock-cut caves to freestanding structural temples. Absolutely correct. This is the fundamental thing you study when you connect with the Pallava architecture. Kailashanatha temple is a rock-cut cave dedicated to Lord Vishnu. No chance, it is dedicated to Lord Shiva. So, what all temple dedicated to which deity? That part is important. Then see, yeah, only two statements, so 2 only is the correct one. With reference to classical dances of India, with reference to classical dances of India, consider the following. Kathak blends traditional Hindu storytelling with the Persian costumes and aesthetic due to this patronage of Mughal courts. Okay, Kathak, you see that Wajid Ali Shah was the biggest patron. You remember? Okay, Wajid Ali Shah was the biggest patron of this Kathak dance. It's a blend of traditional Hindu storytelling with the Persian costumes and aesthetic due to patronage of the Mughal court. Now see, Manipuri dance is characterized by heavy stamping of the feet and rigid body postures to display martial arts. Just understand the fundamental principles of each classical dance. See, Manipuri doesn't have that heavy stamping and eduthu march kutti marayunna parivadi onnilla. Very soft, rounded, and slow footwork. Okay, that is Manipuri. Odissi performance prominently feature the Tribhanga posture. Obviously, that three bend, head, chest, pelvis, that bend, Tribhanga posture, that is Chauk and Tribhanga postures. You can see in Odissi dance. Okay, third one is correct, first one is correct, second is wrong. So I will go for which one? Only two. This traditional dance of Eastern India evolved from indigenous martial arts and more combat. The dancers execute movements resembling combat techniques and stylized gaits and animals, unlike closely related regional variants that heavily utilize elaborate masks representing deities, demons. The specific dance form is uniquely performed without any mask. So you see Purulia Chow, Mayurbanj Chow, Saraikala Chow, different Chow dances are there, and which Chow dance performed without a mask. What all the Chow dances performed with the mask. That basic distinction, is enough here. This you see, Purulia Chow and Saraikala Chow, they use this mask. They are masked performances. But Mayurbanj Chow, gives importance to that facial expressions and it is without a mask. Dandanada is totally different. Question number 15. The Bakshali manuscript contains the earliest known evidence of a placeholder dot indicating the concept of zero. Ancient Indian mathematicians developed the decimal system to facilitate calculations required for tracking astronomical time cycles. Which of the following is correct in respect of this statement? Can we say both are correct here? Both are correct here. Ancient Indian mathematicians developed this decimal system to facilitate calculations required for tracking astronomical time cycles. In fact, this is something you can identify in the Gupta literature or in the Gupta age. Am I right? We will go for both. So what will be your answer? What will be your answer? Both the statement 1, 2 are correct, but the statement 2 doesn't explain statement 1. Why it is doesn't explain? Manuscript contains earliest known evidence of placeholder dot indicating concept of zero. But second statement is not explaining why that particular manuscript is containing the zero. Okay. Y factor is not explained. Individually, they are correct. Question number 16. Consider the following statements regarding the traditional Tanjavur painting style. The paintings are constructed upon a rigid wooden base covered with a layer of cloth and lime plaster, which is absolutely correct. Its themes avoid deities to focus prominently on secular court scenes and portraits of nobility. See, there is a trap word avoid. Actually, no paintings, purposefully avoid the deities and these mythological figures. Okay, they may also include secular, like characters and these scenes, etc. But there is no painting traditions which purposefully avoid deities. Okay, most of the themes revolve around mythological themes, deities, but some paintings, they include social sarcasm, contemporary events, hypocrisies, etc. But there is nothing like avoiding deities. So that I eliminate. It involves extensive application of pure gold foil to decorate garments and architectural elements. Yes, Tanjavur paintings, Tanjavur paintings, yeah, that included these gold foils to decorate garments and architectural elements, which we discussed. Okay. So I will say 1 and 3. I will go for 1 and 3. Now, Bimbedaka rock shelters. There is a question regarding Bimbedaka rock shelters. The site exhibits a continuous sequence of human habitation spanning from the Paleolithic to this historical era, which is absolutely correct. Prehistoric artists primarily utilized mineral colors, particularly red hematite and white earth to create the cave paintings. Absolutely correct. Mesolithic paintings found here frequently depicted scenes of communal hunting, dancing, and animal figure fighting. All are correct. All three is the answer. Yes, I will go for all three. Now, regarding Indus Valley civilization, the buildings such as Harappa, Mohenjo-daro were constructed using baked bricks of standardized dimensions, which is absolutely correct. Settlement features stone temples. There is no stone temples identified as such, so I will eliminate this one. The urban layout included a network of covered drains connected to bathing areas of individual houses, which is absolutely correct. The doors and windows of residential houses opened into main streets. Never. They give lots of importance to their health, hygiene, sanitation, those things, etc. Air pollution, dust pollution, etc. So fourth is wrong. They are opening into central courtyard. Okay. So I will go for 1 and 3 only. Am I right? 1 and 3 only. So only 2. Is it? Only 2. I will go for only 2. I mean 2 statements only correct here. Can you make answer? Come on. Yoga school Patanjali, Vaiseshika school by Kabila is Sankhya school. Then Vaiseshika school by? Come on, say. What is answer? Vaiseshika school by? Sage Canada. Eh? Kannada Sage. And Naya school is by? Gautama. Eh? So you must know what are the orthodox schools of philosophies, who are the proponents or founders, which is very important. Okay. Yoga is giving that importance to yogic practices and this physical exercises and yogic practices. Yeah, that is through which you can achieve salvation or liberation, or Vaiseshika is as ancient Indian physics or atomic philosophy is discussed. Nyaya is logic is discussed. Okay. So here I would say only matching pair is that one only, na? Yeah, question number 20. See, the ghazal is recognized a form of semi-classical music in the Indian subcontinent. Absolutely true. Ghazal originated as a musical tradition in ancient India before the arrival of Persian influences, which is wrong. If you check the timeline, you will understand there is Amir Khusro, in the medieval time. Before that, you never heard a ghazal. Am I right? The verses in a ghazal are logically linked together to tell a single story from the beginning to the end. No such need. Okay, so which one? I will go for which one? I will go for? Come on, say. Eh? I will go for D. Yes, neither statement 2 or statement 3 is correct. Okay. Yeah. That way, first one is correct. First statement is correct. Which of the following elements not included in the Saptanga theory? In Arthashastra, there is a Saptanga theory, 7 limbs of the state. Amatya is there, or this, Kosha is there, Danda is there, all those elements are there, Purohita is not there. Just try to understand what all these, 7 limbs of the state, according to Kaudilya's Arthashastra, according to his Saptanga theory. Find out all these, Yes. Can you say what are the 7 limbs? Seven limbs of the state according to Kaudilya's Arthashastra. Okay, just go for it. Important here. Question number 22. Question number 22. With regard to Gandhara Madura schools. While Gandhara school primarily used bluish grey sandstone, Madura used spotted red sandstone for its sculptures. Absolutely true. Amravati used white marble. Gandhara depicted Buddha with a shaved head and a muscular physique. Never, no chance. No psycho Buddha here. Here you see Gandhara Buddha is, that is Roman and this Greek traditions. Yeah, see, with the curly hair or this, what is called a bird, mouse, chick, etc. Just like Greek gods, Roman kings, etc. So no such a chance. So I will go for one only. Am I right? What is next? Solanki style of temple architecture. The temple complexes generally lack defensive boundary wall, distinguishing them from Dravidian style. That is wrong. That statement is wrong. It's right. Eh? That is wrong. That statement is wrong. Okay. The presence of prominent stepped tank known as Surya Kund, that is a defining characteristic of this temple. That is correct statement only. Third statement, Garbhagriha is connected to the mandapa from both the inside and outside, leaving no outer circumambulatory path. So outer circumambulatory path is a typical feature of this Dravidian style of temple architecture. Isn't it? Come on, say. Outer circumambulatory passageway, you can see that is a typical feature of this Dravidian style of temple architecture. Only question is that they are asking the Garbhagriha is connected to the mandapa from both inside and outside. Is it true or not? The Garbhagriha is connected to the mandapa from both inside. There is a vestibular tunnel concept is there from inside and outside, leaving no outer circumambulatory path. Whether this outer circumambulatory path, which is a common feature of this Dravidian style of temple architecture, whether this thing is present in this Solangi temple architecture. Come on, make some answer. Absolutely, Solangi is North Indian style or see, it's a sub-style of Nagara. It's not a sub-style of Dravida. Okay, so mostly the Dravidian features may miss or it may be absent there. Am I right? So fine. So that way you can connect it to two and three. That means only two. Means B. B is given that. He was a profound medieval polymath, poet and musician closely associated with the courts of Delhi Sultanate, historically credited with the innovation of the sitar and tabla, alongside pioneering this Qawwali. So, see, certain words are there. A man who introduced Qawwali tradition, which is, Sufi devotional songs, and the person who introduced sitar and tabla, and the person who was in the court of Delhi Sultanate, you must understand, and a disciple of Nizamuddin Aulia. All these descriptions are connecting with this, Amir Khusro. All are connecting with the Amir Khusro. Then there is question number 25. What is question number 25? Yeah, question number 25. In traditional Yakshagana theatre, dancing actors rely on separate vocalists rather than singing the primary poetic verses themselves. Yakshagana, a singer known as the Bhagavata directs the narrative by singing the verses to the accompaniment of percussion instruments. Which of the following is correct in respect of the above statement? Yakshagana, you know that it's a popular storytelling theatre tradition that goes to this Karnataka and says these dancing actors rely on separate vocalists rather than singing the primary poetic verses themselves. Yakshagana, a singer known as the Bhagavata, directs the narrative by singing the verses to the accompaniment of these instruments. See both the statements. Do you think both are correct? Both are correct? Come on, look into that. Eh? Yeah, what is that? Both the statement 1 and 2 are correct, and statement 2 explains statement 1. Do you think that statement 2 is an explanation to statement 1? No. Come on. They rely on separate vocalists rather than singing primary poetic verses themselves. Then reason, singer known as Bhagavata directs the narrative by singing the verses to the accompaniment of these percussion instruments. Do you think second explains the first one? Come on, say, this is something basic thing I'm asking you. You feel like that? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, then I will go for this A. Both the statement 2 are correct and statement 2 explains statement 1. So here what I am saying, please have an idea how the questions are framed, why the questions are framed, and what kind of the logic is applied in order to eliminate statement 2 or statement 3 or to pick statement 1, or how the different sorts of questions must be answered. What is the knack of solving art and culture questions? Stay tuned, and of course the art and culture classes or maybe the question solving obviously will save you to score well in this art and culture part of the prelims, because it is a game of around 6 to 8 questions, something around 12 to 16 marks. So don't ever ignore this.
Gallant IAS, chasing your passion to ace.